Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back to the channel. We are live, finally. Sorry, technical problem, it was not on our side to be honest, because we were on time. And there was technical problem because we tried to be on screen, it was not working, so we didn't even start the live. So what I had to do, it was cancel the other one and then set up in Fast and Fury a new live. But we did everything that we could to be live together with you. So we will wait a bit that the people will enter. Of course, today, unfortunately, Kevin, that was planned, will not be able to make it because there was a private situation that he needs to solve. So a lot of strength to Kevin. Zach had a really hectic week after a well-deserved holiday. So today it's a tete-a-tete. It's a one-to-one. It's a face-to-face. It's two eyes in two eyes. Frederic and myself. Buongiorno, Frederic. How are you doing?
Buongiorno, very well. Looking forward to the Belgian tete-a-tete, Pepe.
The
Once
Belgium
again.
that. And we are not the only
Yeah.
one, because there are some people from Belgium here, like Federico into the chat, but also Sir Raz is from Belgium, and then all the other people that are here in the chat and that are arriving from all around the world. The Belgian bros from Sasha, Ciao Iorio, Kix Bocci 404, Salman, Baradin, Buongiorno Jan, Samzeit, Dom Natoli said Beppe. David non mi piace. He's not in love. He's not a big fan of David. And Juve must do better. We all agree on the words of Dom. Buongiorno Juve Ball. Ciao Maestro 1897. Ciao Arthur and all the people that are in the chat and the other ones that are watching us in replay. Of course, thank you to Giuseppe that is saying auguri Beppe, festa di San Giuseppe. Today it's a Saint Joseph, indeed, Saint Joseph, San Giuseppe in Italian. I
Auguri.
remember that I received the wishes from my mother that is quite fast in wishing the San Giuseppe. And then also someone that I thought this morning when I was waking up and I received like tanti auguri Giuseppe, I was like, it's not my birthday. What is this guy thinking? I was like, it's really strange message. Like uh, I didn't get a second son or daughter. It's
That
not
you
my
know of.
birthday. So I said, what is it? And actually, it was indeed San Giuseppe. And in Italy, also Father Day. So um,
Yeah.
best wishes to all the people that are celebrating. Your name is not Giuseppe, Federico. So do you need to wait a bit more for your own son, Federico?
I have to find first a saint that we can name a holiday or a namesake after. So that's gonna take
There
some
is no
time. Maybe
saint that calls Frederic, no?
no. There's
Uh,
no San Federico, niente. So maybe I'll have to be the first. Maybe I have to do something that they will make me a saint afterwards. And
maybe you could. Maybe you
yeah,
could.
yeah.
I'm sure that if you tell us that during this live, this tete-a-tete, you spoil a name of a player that Juve is in contact for and that nobody spoke about yet, I'm sure that the people in the chat, they will make you a saint.
Hmm.
I have a name.
You have a name. Oh.
Hmm,
Oh, now I'm curious. I'm
I have two
curious.
names. No, I
Oh,
have three names.
three names.
Stop. I
Oh,
have three names.
okay. Now we need to dig in. Everybody in chat, tell Beppe to spill the beans. We need to know. The people deserve to know.
I have three
I think.
names. Oh,
I'm
today
very
for San
curious.
Giuseppe, my friend Dan Colo 99 actually broke my heart because today he decided to put on the best moments, skills, and highlights and great career of Paul Pogba Prime. Mamma mia, what a player. Guys, I watched it again. What a player. What a
I,
player.
we have the intro video at Turin Giants. You can also follow us on Turin Giants official on YouTube, and we have all these iconic moments of Juve placed together, and you could see the Pogba goal against Napoli, the half volley, and every time I see it, I go like, ah, that was pure football.
It,
Nah, it's a shame.
it's
It's a shame.
really, really difficult. I from the 2011 era. Let's speak about that, not before. It's really difficult to find a player that gave me in such like 3, 4 seasons, so much incredible joy of everything can happen with this guy. Uh, Dybala had it for a moment, but not to me, not like Pogba.
Not long
Not
enough. Not long enough. No, and also, I'm old enough. I'm an old guy, so I can compare. You could see glimpses of Zidane and Pogba. Really, like the way he handled the ball, the technique, the velocity, the view, the
the
being two
physicality.
passes. Yeah, it was. I never thought that after Zidane I could see such a player, and for me, Pogba, if he was a bit more consistent, especially the last 2 seasons prior to the injury already, he would have been better than Zidane.
Attenzione,
Oh,
Saint Frederick of Utrecht is in July 18. You didn't know that, huh?
I didn't know. I honestly didn't. And to be honest, I really don't care. I
No,
hate
no.
these because in Italy every saint has a name, so every day it's a celebratory thing about a certain saint or a certain name, and they get carried away with that. They get carried away with that in Italy at times.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I
Uh,
told
and
you today I received messages from Italy. Tanti auguri, Giuseppe. I was like, well, what is it?
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
I'm not
okay,
bothered.
we spoke about Pogba, we spoke about San Giuseppe and San Federico. So now it's time to speak about Juventus 25-26. We can choose today. We because we are a tete-a-tete. That's a bit the luxury. It's you and me, Fred. We go with the flow. What do you want to speak about? Or guys, you know what? Give us a topic, and then we
Yeah,
will go with the agenda. Because of course we'll speak about Jegrava, we'll speak about the goalkeepers, like you see. We speak about fearing Como, which is also in the title because they are fourth, because they have an easier calendar, because they have virtually 2 points over Juve because they won the head-to-head. So we can, and maybe that enthusiasm playing free with their mind. So there is Como, there is goalkeeper, there is Jegrova, there is Mercato. But guys, go with the first questions. What do you want to know about Frederic? Claude Venuto, buon onomastico Beppe, buon San Giuseppe. Grazie Claude from Canada. Tell us. So, no, but wait, Zach. No, wait. I will not. Hey, imagine if I start with the three names.
we need foreplay.
Hey, because otherwise it's too easy. I start with the three names and then everyone says Beppe, ciao, arrivederci. No, no, no. You have to stay. Watch time is important
Yeah,
on YouTube.
yeah. Also for
Goal,
us, we made ourselves available.
goal Bologna. I didn't watch. I didn't even know the score. Apparently they are winning 3-1. Uh, Roma have they could possibly have thrown away everything.
They have thrown away everything.
It's
They have
over for
thrown
their
away
run for
everything.
the top four, you say?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm pretty confident. I don't think if you look at Gasperini also, and if you know Gasperini a bit, you see that he always has these certain periods, especially after come Easter, end of the season, also a bit. But he always was able to make up such a head start in the beginning, especially with Atalanta, that the place was pretty much secure. And now it isn't because he has to start from scratch. And I think they will. You could see it in the way that he acts, the way that he talks, the press conference on the sideline. He's very nervous. The players are nervous. They haven't had that luck that they had in the first half of the season because they were quite lucky at times,
Mm-hmm.
with not conceding, just scoring one, late ball on the crossbar, things like that, VAR decisions going comfortably their way. So that's all done for now. And I think now you see the cracks in Roma's armor, and they're spiraling in a downfall.
Energy drink is starting to be over. The effect of the energy drink of Gasperini, the Gasperade, that's how they called it when he was at Atalanta, starting to be over. No, but we spoke about it, I believe, a few weeks ago here live with Zach, with Kevin, with yourself, that training at Roma is quite difficult because you win one game and it's the enthusiasm that goes sky high, and it's difficult
Yeah,
to keep everyone on the ground. You lose
yeah,
one game, it's hell that is opening under your feet. So it's extremely difficult to find balance
Yeah,
in that passion.
yeah.
So if you don't have the players that are able to resist it, then it's extremely difficult. So to you, Roma, with the most difficult calendar, and the big shock of being out of Europa League, out of the top four at the moment, are out. So let's start immediately with fearing Como. Is Como one that we need to fear for the top four?
No, no, not in my opinion. If we play,
Attenzione! Champions League qualification for Juve, according to Fred.
yeah, I think so. It makes sense in a way. I find it difficult to put into words, but Como, they don't have the experience. We don't have a lot of experience, but we have more than Como in certain ways. And I also feel that if we have the energy, because of the fact that we just play one game a week now, I think it'll make a huge difference. And I think Como will have a misstep left and right. And I don't believe, or I don't think it's possible that Juve win. I think if we keep our heads straight and we play the matches like we played the Udinese game, albeit it was just a 1-0 victory, but could have been 4-5-0 as well,
Mm.
with the same intensity, the same rhythm. And Como is going to drop points. Como is just going to drop points.
There are no heads to heads anymore. So Juve will not play Roma. Roma will not play Como. It's Juve will not play Como either. So we played already all the head to heads. You believe that it's possible for one of the three teams to go with 9-on-9?
Everything's
I
possible.
think personally no. I think that
No,
the
it's.
three will lose points.
I think at a certain point we'll all lose points, especially because that race for fourth is so tied together in a sense, and I think we'll see some iconic moments in these last games
You
because
think?
everything, yeah, I think everything could be a decisive factor, be it a VAR decision, be it an injury, be it a dubious red card, whatever can happen, is going to happen, and it'll have an impact. It'll have an impact. So, but for me, Juventus has to be on top. If we start fearing Como, then that's the end of everything for me. I mean, Como's a good team, but don't forget they're a made up team. They're fabricated. They have a good coach. They have some good players. I agree with all that, but I think if going head to head in certain moments, then you have to beat Como also mentally. If that's not possible, then what are you going to do in the Champions League?
No, but fearing is a big word. Now, Juve should not fear Como, of course not. So it's a bit of provocative title, but it's
Yeah,
true that what I'm fearing, being totally honest, is Como was not planning to compete for the top four at the beginning of the season. They are in a situation that honestly they were not planning. They were probably planning to start entering slowly the competition for a European spot, Conference League, UEFA League. Now they are there at 9 games of the end of the season, and they have that thing of, okay, we have beaten a lot of big teams on paper. Roma was the last one. We have beaten Juve. We did results against Milan, Inter, Napoli. Why not trying? And what was really, really worrying me was the fact that they won against Cagliari, not against Roma, but Cagliari. Because the way that they won against Cagliari, if they start to win games that they are playing really badly, that's when a team starts to be dangerous. If they have that conviction that they can also win the dirty games, then it can be problematic. I'm always
yeah,
fearing when teams are playing like with a free mind. We go for it, we don't care, and we take the risk that we can take. Then of course we have never seen Fabregas and the players playing with some pressure, because one thing is to play freely when you
yeah,
have 9 games to play, 8 games to play, 7 games to play. From the moment that it starts to be 4, 3, 2, 1, playing with a huge big fear factor of, oof, we are touching the dreams with a factor. I have no idea if they will be able to resist it or
yeah,
not. So it's a question mark.
and also the fact. do they want to achieve that fourth place? Because going
I
into the
think
Champions
yes.
League is all nice and well, but you need investments not only in players but also the stadium. There are certain requirements that you need to uphold in order to host a
Mm.
Champions League game. And now
They
everybody's going
will
to
have
say
to
yes,
find
but
another stadium. Huh? They will have to
yeah,
find
yeah,
another stadium.
yeah, I think so too. And not only that, but I think, and I've been through it myself, not in the same position and in the same level. But once you start overperforming for a whole season, you get confident and you see that end game, you see the light at the end of the tunnel. But then when it really comes close and things are not going your way, for some reason, you just shut down. Your legs really shut down because I want to see Como, having that run. But then what's going to happen if they are drawing 0-0 and it's the 70 minute? How will they respond to those nerves, to those emotions? Because then it's all about emotional awareness and mentality and maybe also the psychology behind it. And that's a whole different game then, because then you're playing with fear, with aspiration as well, but also a sort of crippling fear, and it makes it very difficult to keep a straight head in that game and win that game.
I saw some people in the chat. I'm trying to find the message, but I don't find it immediately. But anyway, it's not only from the chat. I also read it in the comment sections under my videos that some people are believing that you can even do the run over Napoli or Milan. I don't know, guys. Honestly, Milan, like before their loss against Lazio, they were Scudetto contenders, possibly. I never thought that they could win, but and now you're speaking about being out of top four with Max Allegri. I don't think so that they will flop. Napoli, they have only one game a week now. They are starting to recuperate important players like Anguissa.
Yeah.
If they would have lost a few games that they won at the 92nd minute, maybe you could have spoken about that. But now with 5 points over Como, I think, six over
Yeah.
Juve, guys, I would not hope or target Napoli and Milan to lose that many points to drop out of top four. I don't think
Uh,
so.
It doesn't even matter, to be honest. Let's just focus on top four as a whole, and all the rest, if that should happen, is just a nice bonus. But in the end, it doesn't give you more money in Champions League or whatever. It's the draw as it is. So we'll certainly be in Champions League nonetheless. So I don't care if we're second, third, or fourth. If we're not first, then we just need that qualification. All the rest, nobody remembers the second place or the third place. Maybe a Como for years to come, but we're still Juventus. So let's just keep it at fourth and see how we can get up to first next season.
There is a Jan that says don't play with Beppe about their stadium of Como. Frederic shared the same opinion as me. No, but guys, I was reading an article like 2 days ago about Como with plans to build a new stadium or reorganize this one. So I'm not criticizing the management. The management is taking a team in lower division. They are pumping money in. They have a project that is a beautiful project they can spend at the moment because you are not under the financial fair play control of European competition if you are not. So you cannot from one day to another go and put a stadium in the middle of Como. That's not possible. So I'm not criticizing Como that has beautiful plans. What I'm criticizing is the people that are praising how beautiful the stadium of Como is, which is not
No,
because Como Stadium happens to be at a really wonderful place that is the lake. So the lake is beautiful, the
yeah,
panorama is beautiful, but the stadium is disgusting.
yeah,
Today, in 2 years, in 3 years, when they will have a stadium, we'll say bravo. And I think but it's like that for look, if you're speaking about Union Saint-Gilloise, I've been there. It's charmant. It's nice. You feel that Belgium,
yeah,
Brussels, especially more Brussels atmosphere. It's really nice. They cannot participate with their stadium in Champions League, which makes totally sense. So they are obliged and forced to ask for playing with Anderlecht Stadium if they are not in European competition or in the Boudewijn Park or Hazel now. So, but we are speaking about Jupiler League. Here we are speaking about Serie A. And in Serie A, a stadium like Como should not be allowed. By the way, it was not even allowed before they added up some
No.
IKEA chairs. But
Yeah.
you remember last season that they couldn't play at home for like the 3-4 first game of the season. That's what I'm mad at. It's the stadium that is windy. The ball is going in all direction, and people
Yeah.
are actually overpraising a non-stadium.
Yeah. And also the fact I saw I don't know, I was scrolling on Instagram, and there was an interview with some of the marketing guys from Coma, and they were like, "Oh, but we don't have to invite celebrities; they come themselves because when it gets warmer, there are a lot of famous people that visit Como or have houses here, and then they come to watch a beautiful game of football," which I don't believe. I don't, honest. If you're a multimillionaire, you're a movie star, you're at Como. Honest to God, I don't believe you don't. You have no interest in football whatsoever. You don't say, "Hey, tonight instead of that Michelin restaurant, we're going to eat cold pizza at one of the shittiest stadiums in the world." But we get to see Como. I never saw a game of football in my life, but hey, let's go there. No, it's all marketing and PR, and of course they
Course.
invite them, and that's the thing that bothers me around Como, the fakeness. I
Yeah.
don't care if you have Oscar winners. I mean, it's nice to have those people there. I love it. I appreciate you for that. But don't go around
You
saying,
watched the
they were in
Oscars or
Como.
not? You didn't watch the
Sorry?
Oscars.
Yeah,
You didn't watch
I
the Oscars.
watched the highlights, which I'm not gonna start around that because I have a very strong opinion about certain movies. So I'm not gonna go into that, but I just don't believe it. Just say we invited them, they wanted to come, they have a house here, they're on holiday here, fine, whoever, who cares? But not they want to see Como really bad.
Yeah.
Die.
No, no, I understand, and I agree with you. Then, oh, it's beautiful having a nice marketing that is working, and it's a hype. Then, and people, bravo for them. Hopefully, they will do it in Europa League or Conference League, not in Champions League. One thing. I pray to God, seriously, that imagine because look, Inter and Milan they qualify in Champions League, right?
Yeah.
So San Siro is booked for 1 week and the other week. Uh, imagine, you know what I will say. Imagine, imagine they are fourth and they say, "Oh, where can we go to play? Can we go to the Allianz Stadium, which is not that far, actually?
No.
If you are thinking about it, how much is it? 3 hours? Nah,
Yeah,
no, not
it's
even, not
two
even
two and a
two and
half,
a
two and
half.
a half, I think. Yeah, it's
Imagine.
about 230 kilometers, I think.
I hope if this happen, guys. I go crazy. No, because I am maybe Atalanta could be. Bravo, Evan. Maybe. Don't start asking to Juve because Juve would say yes. I
Yeah.
promise you that Juve would say yes.
Even for free, like they wouldn't want an entrance fee or whatever. They'd say, "Oh yes, just take it. Leave the
Yeah.
dressing room as it is. We'll clean up after you guys. Have a good one." No, 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 no. Please, please, please.
No, no, that would be a shame. Am I exaggerating? If you don't
No,
qualify and Como qualifies and you give them their stadium, to me that's
no, no, no. No other team should be able to play Champions League in the Allianz, the Juventus team, whatever you want to call it, apart from us. None. Done. Not even if they bomb Milan. There's a World War III. Every stadium in Milan and Bergamo is in ruins, and they ask us to no, 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 no.
Dai, we agree on that. Udinese Juve, you want 2 minutes debrief about the game? What did you like, or players you liked or not liked?
I didn't like David
Eh,
for the 2 minutes that he was on. No, I think in all seriousness, we saw Juve that
No, no,
got up
it's
the
really
tempo.
serious. This is really
Yeah, it
serious.
is. It is. It is. It is. But I feel Oh, I don't know how to explain, but I'm seeing the pieces of the puzzle fitting together. The basic, like the first few things that you lay when you're making a puzzle, they're fitting nicely. Now it's about, the rest of the puzzle, which I'm very curious about because everybody can see the choices Spalletti makes and how that will impact our transfer strategy. And I'm very curious to see how that will play out because I said it. We had a live scoop episode yesterday, and I'm really happy because I think this is the first time in 6 or 7 years that
uh,
no, that we are already in March planning a bit and moving a bit more active towards people we want to sign or whatever. It's been a while since I've seen that because from the last couple
this
of
was so good. I need this to be clipped. I need it. This was so good. This was so good. I'm sorry, Fred. I should
no,
make
it's okay. It's okay.
Fred the show. Fred the show.
Freddy show,
The Freddy
Freddy.
show.
Yeah, could work,
Sorry,
but
sorry.
no, but I think we see them being active, and I think yeah, we're 100 years old. Yeah, yeah, it's true. But okay, but you could see them already planning and being very proactive on that field, and I think that's a nice thing to do.
Who? Juve.
Yeah,
Tell me
yeah,
about
yeah.
Jonathan David. Tell me about Jonathan David because Nevin is reminding me this is serious because you said it's let's be serious, but I said this is really serious about Jonathan David. The way that he entered. What is the message that he sends? What is the message that Spalletti sent him by not playing him and playing him the last 3 minutes? Uh, uh, what did you get
I,
from it?
I think the message is the same. I don't want to play garbage minutes. He made that very clear that he wasn't very interested in playing those final minutes. He was a bit offended, I think. But it was also the message from Spalletti saying, "This is what you at this point deserve, and I'm not counting on you." Um, uh, so I think it's a bit of a fracture between Juventus and David at that point. It
And I
was
think it's
really
also a fracture between me and Zach. Since we
oh, but
had that
Zach's not
debate
in.
about David, he didn't show up anymore.
Nope. Maybe it's because of that. Yeah, who
No,
knows?
no, because one time it's the holiday. One time is after the holiday, I need to overwork. I just know, coincidence or not, that since we had the debate about Jonathan David, he's not showing up. Then, guys, I could possibly even open a poll for it. Why is Zach not showing up? Is it because of the discussion about Jonathan David? Is it is no no maybe we could do like he's waiting for Jonathan David goal to come back.
But that's a good poll if ever I saw a goal. A poll. That's a good one to put in a poll, to be honest. But no, you could
Apparently it's
see.
a top game there, 3-3 between Roma and Bologna.
Yeah, let's hope.
Pellegrini scored. Hey, oh, if it's
Let's
Pellegrini,
buy
guys,
him. Let's
I
buy
tell
him
you,
then.
I have my theory about Pellegrini. I have my theory. I cannot believe that he is seriously a target of Juve, except if they are already preparing the Europa League plan. How far am I from reality? Means we have other targets, but worst case scenario, you are not in Champions League. You go in Conference or Europa League. Bernardo Silva doesn't want to come. This one doesn't want to come. This one doesn't want to come. And at the end, you're looking for a player that could possibly, with characteristics, be a vice Weston McKennie, Pellegrini. I
I
mean,
think he's option
otherwise, it
D.
makes no sense. I try to shake it up, Fred. Why is this name on earth linked to you every day? That's the only answer I can give myself.
It's option. I said that yesterday as well. I think Juventus are firmly prioritizing everything with an option A, option B, option C for every spot that they need filled. Worst case scenario, middle case scenario, and best case scenario. And I think they're aiming or trying to get the A options in right now, or some of them, if possible, and then build around that. But for some reason, if your option A says no, I'm sorry, then you can pivot very fast to option B without losing a lot of time, because the time is limited once again to do the World Cup and everything.
They're saying in the chat, Pellegrini is better than Cope argue. I will argue it. For me, it's super easy. Pellegrini is not a bad player. Pellegrini is not a bad player. Pellegrini is a good player that didn't make it at Roma to become the new captain, because I'm not a big fan of Roma as a club. I think it's guys, they have three Scudetti. They never did anything. There, Roma is seventh or sixth spot. I will say it like that. Seven or six spot. That's Roma, guys. So then they have that beautiful season where they finish fourth. Brava tutti. One time every 33 years they win the Scudetto. Good for them. But no, honestly, but it doesn't have the shoulders wide enough to carry Roma. And that's my problem with Pellegrini. Pellegrini will be Locatelli pre-Spalletti.
Yeah,
You
exactly
know what
that.
I mean?
Yeah,
A
yeah,
guy
yeah,
that has the skills. Huh? It's not that he doesn't have skills. I'm sure. I'm not watching the game. I'm sure that he's doing fantastic things today. So he has the skills in him. But it's a player that the team is, and he will drag the team down. You know what I mean? Not because of
yeah,
him only, yeah, but because it's the one that will be one of the 25. And
yeah,
today you don't need that. Today you need one that in that moment of difficulty is able to bring you that team
yeah,
up. So that if you tell me choose between Kessier, that is 3 years in Saudi Arabia, or Pellegrini, there are different roles. Pellegrini is more advanced, Kessier is more but I go with all my life. I go with Kessier. I go there, I bring him myself
yeah.
because that's what I
Agreed.
need today.
Yeah, we
And then
need
on
we
top
need
of that,
animals
yeah,
in the sense of that they won't accept defeat and won't accept a tackle gone wrong. They get up, they try again and make it better and help everybody. And I think this is something that we need to get that unity and as a team. Also quality. I mean, Pellegrini, everybody says, but Pellegrini, awesome talent, talent, talent. Oh, he's almost done playing football. Talent, you
I
can't
agree.
call him a talent anymore. And of all that talent which they state, I never saw it. I never saw it in the important games. I never saw it in the games that mattered. So to me, is that eternal promise that when the going gets rough, he sinks with the ship,
Yeah,
and
bravo,
that's not a player that we need right now.
bravo. I said I had three names, huh?
Yes,
But we need to speak about goalkeepers as well. So
I'll
I'm
let you
just
start.
thinking, should I say one? You know that
Yes,
I
you
forgot
should.
the third. I forgot the third name. Wait, I need to remember. I need to remember. Wait. I need to write them down. Ah, yeah. I will give you one. I will give you one. Apparently, Spalletti would really love to have Lobotka back. I tell you, oh, I didn't say phenomenon. I said three names. One name, and I tell you, there are already some advanced talks for the not for the contract, not with because then it's not only the entourage of the player, it's Napoli as well. The last transfer, it's not Higuain, because Higuain we paid the close. The last transfer,
Spinazzola.
Spinazzola, yes, the other way around. But I'm speaking from Napoli
Yeah,
to Juve.
the last transfer from Napoli to Juve. No, Pereira was Udinese.
It's a long time ago.
Pereira
Let's
was
see if the chat.
Udinese.
Open question for the chat. Who was the last player? Bravo.
Pazzi- Quagliarella?
And Quagliarella, because he had some problems there because he needed to leave, but we are speaking about 2009, 2010, huh,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
No, Milik went to Marseille first.
yeah.
Quagliarella, guys. So
Pazienza.
long time ago. I don't know if Pacienza was before or after. Uh, I need to check that up. But then it was over, and especially with the Higuain when we signed the close, it was over. So it will be extremely difficult. He has like I believe still 2 years more in his contract, so it will be extremely difficult to go for Lobotka. But I know by a fact that Spalletti goes totally crazy about Lobotka, and that he would really see him at Juve, and that's the first name.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
like Lobotka.
No.
I see it on your face.
I
Who,
want
who
those
in the
players.
chat? Go, Fred.
No, I'll let you do it. I'll let you do it first.
No. I wanted to ask you in the chat if you would you be happy with the Lobotka special request of Spalletti. That's also important to say. But Spalletti is starting to scare me, because he likes Vicario, he likes Pellegrini, he likes Lobotka. I'm not sure if
He likes
he's the man
everybody.
to do the transfer market. Huh?
No, but he will be. He will be alongside Comoli and oh, I forgot the name.
Ottolini,
Ottolini,
Ottolini, Modesto, Chiellini.
Modesto a bit, but not a lot. And Alcan will be involved as well.
Yeah, but Elkan, with all the respect that I have, hopefully will not do mercato. Huh?
No, but in the sense that they will, report to him about,
Yeah, of course.
possible moves and eventually budget because Elkan made it clear, I want quality players. I want to raise the quality level within Juventus. I don't want to buy 20 players and hope that we get one hidden gem out of them. No, I want five, but five that we know that are going to perform. He doesn't want the Openda slash Koopmeiners situation anymore because he's really annoyed with the Openda deal. So let's see what.
I tell you, Pellegrini to me it's a no. Lobotka is a player that I like the football IQ of Lobotka, and that's a player that I would not say no to. Um, then you know that this I don't care about the names or whatever. I want just a
No,
team that is working. I really
yeah,
want an intelligent transfer market. I would love that we would say, okay, Spalletti, choose two formations. Do we do 4-2-3-1, 3-4-1-2, or whatever? Or you want to go also in some games with a 3-5-2 with two strike? Tell me two formations, and we will make the team with your characteristic that you need or not. Now the big question, Fred. Vlahovic, we know that he will stay, or at least 99%. What is the backup that we need to look for? Or what do you think that they are looking for? Uh Vlahovic bis or a different Vlahovic? So
a
I'm
different
just telling you
Vlahovic.
the name. For example, Vlahovic bis could be Pellegrino from Parma. A different Vlahovic could be Zirkzee.
I don't know. I think, in all honesty, I assume that they will go for somebody that you can be sure of that does well, especially in Serie A. Because I think Vlahovic, Champions League wise, if he's not injured, he almost in Champions League campaigns turns up because he has the spotlights on him, his ego gets caressed. That's the Vlahovic we want. And that's what Vlahovic wants as well. In the games against Lecce, Parma, Cagliari, first touch is wrong. He's mad with himself. Doesn't work out. Whatever. I think they're going for somebody with experience and goal scoring capabilities, the type a Lewandowski type. I'm not saying Lewandowski as a name, which could very well be because there has been contact. But I think that type of player that you can give also the same as Vlahovic, 1+1 in terms of contract years, and then you have time to shop around, to look, to make smart decisions. But in the end, you have somebody who knows how to score a goal, which is what this team needs. And the Udinese game was a testament of that. Could have been 4-5-0. It was just 1-0, and still at certain points, 88th minute, we were shivering, because there was some counterattack. And I also think if we're talking three strikers, I think the most viable one is Kolomwani. I'm not a fan, as you know, but for me that's the name that checks the boxes,
I know
especially
that for,
since
for Colomani, everyone in La Continassa agree. It's not that it's the favorite of every person, but if there is a name where at the end everyone agrees on, it's Colomani.
yeah, he's vanilla. He's not polarizing. He's not a sure thing or a gamble. He's just he was here. He liked it. We liked him. Let's
But
give it a go.
even Vlaovic likes Colomani.
That could very well be. But
It's
to
like,
me,
yeah,
that
this guy is nice, but
yeah,
he was not that happy when Jonathan David arrived at Juve. Well, for Colomani, I like him. It's okay. So not that Dusan Vlahovic has something to say, but I mean, it's also important that the teammates are happy. Not only the teammates, also the people that worked with him when he was there. They have really like this is his home, and I know that if it's not the first option of everyone, is one that everyone agrees on the name of Colomoni. Then let's see what opportunities. Before speaking and answering to Zach, I really wanted to tackle that one super easy because to me it's an evident question to answer. Then if Fred has another one and other answer, I will let him tell. But the question for Ashraf, for the people who are listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcast, is Beppe, let's be honest, and feet on the ground. Would you prefer a Europa League title, which at the end is a title, and silverware, or qualifying to Champions League and go out again from 16? But here you're telling me fatalities. Here you're telling me that you are sure that if we go in Europa League that we will win it. I have no idea about that. And you're also telling me that if we go in Champions League, we are out in round of 16. To me, in a season where we can still qualify in Champions League, I tell you, I want to qualify in Champions League, and then let's see what will happen. So I will never tell you I prefer to go in Europa League to compete and maybe win the title, even if you guarantee me that I can win the title. We finish the season with the maximum of ambition and maximum of what we can have, because Champions League is the competition where Juventus should always belong to. One. Then, if by unfortunately circumstances, because of ourselves, because we were not good enough, because the other ones were better, and you know that here on the channel I've never been ashamed to say congratulations to the other ones because they were better, and you are in Europa League, you try to win it, and you try to compete. I'm not a big fan of Napoli, for example, to throwaway competitions. But it's not Napoli, it's Conte. I'm not a big fan of Conte that participates because he's forced to, and then at the first possibility he's throwing it away. So no, to me, you are participating in a competition, you try to win it. Of course, you have a bit more possibilities to win the to win the Europa League than the Champions League, but it's not even a fact because Europa League is really difficult. You are playing every Thursday, you're playing further away from home than the Champions League games usually. You're still playing the same amount of games and probably even more games. And because you go further, you probably have your season filled up for the second trophy. So no. Today, in a really quick answer, I 100%, 1000% prefer to play the Champions League. If not, I will try to win Europa League.
It's a question that you need to look at from both sides. Are we talking sportingly or financially? And I know the two are linked, but it would make sense in a way to have a season where you play Europa League and management says, okay, we're going to play a season of Europa League. We're not going to spend a crazy amount of money, but we'll make sure that we'll get back into Champions League. And when we do, we'll have enough funds to make us competitive again, especially within the Champions League format. Then
But
I
then for me,
say, if
I prefer to be ninth and not participate for 1 year,
yeah,
one
yeah,
year,
but
not
the
3 years.
question
Yeah, yeah.
was either so. But to me, the same, 11, please, so we don't have to buy a panda. But I
But
get
is
what
it
you
true
mean.
that,
But
or is it just a rumor that has been made up? I'm not even sure if it's true or not.
no, it is true. It's true.
It's true.
Yeah. Also something with minutes. I'm not sure. It's a and situation. So the minutes are definitely, if we even if we finish 11th, the minutes still have priority over our standing. So that's why I think we were very cautious about giving him minutes. But now it doesn't matter anymore. We can play him the 9 games in a row or 8 games in a row. If we don't finish 11th, then it's automatically triggered.
Zaki from UK is telling Beppe, and it's a long time follower. You always have been a fair guy, but on David, you are unfair. On the last game, I saw him running and covering for Kalulu, and I'm not even his fan. And I think he was given enough opportunities and didn't take it. Uh, yeah, maybe Jackie. Look, I always try to be fair that I have an agenda or not, but I don't have agenda. There are some players that I like, some players that I don't like. For the 3 4 minutes that I saw him entering, I really didn't appreciate how he entered. Did I miss a run? It could be, yeah. Or did I give an interpretation wrong to a run? Did I see the run that he made for Kalulu and I didn't? I don't even remember.
Yeah, but sorry, if
I
we're
don't
judging
know.
players on running, then we buy a
No, no, no,
golden
no,
retriever.
no. But Zach is telling me that usually I'm fair, and he's not even a big fan of David. But about this game particularly, not about David in the whole or the season. So probably in Zaki's eyes, I exaggerated my frustration, anger about the 3 minutes of Jonathan David. It could be, but I think maybe it could even be that I overreacted because I'm pissed off. It could have been, yeah,
But the thing is, when you see a player entering, even though it's just 3 minutes, and I agree with everybody that the 3 minutes that he has given is a bit of a
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not
It's
nice
tough,
for a
huh?
player.
It's
It's
tough.
not
It's
nice.
tough.
It's tough. But I think that was the test also from Spalletti. Show me that you're resilient. Show me that you don't care. Show me that you want to fight until fino alla fine. And if you're coming on and you're not even on the pitch already, and you have the body language of, oh, I wish I could have stayed on my couch this evening instead of being here,
To
then you
me,
start.
the non-facial expression of entering and or showing, it's an interpretation, of I don't even want to enter, and then you don't see the run that you are wanting to, you don't see that there is that to me the 4 or 5 minutes that I watched was like I really didn't appreciate it, also because he threw away a huge big opportunity, because Jonathan David that I didn't want at Juve, I defended him until Dusan Vlahovic got injured, because I always said it's extremely difficult and to me even unfair to start a player that you know will be out of the end of the season, and that we are not able to judge if Jonathan David is good or not at Juve, because Vlahovic was starting, and then he receives that chance. He doesn't even have the pressure anymore of Dusan Vlahovic being over him, and he threw it away. He threw it totally away. and we spoke a lot about him, and the players were against him, and then they were friends again, and then he doesn't receive a penalty, and then he receives a penalty and he's missing it, and then he has that momentum of I score goals, and he threw it away, and it's a pity. I think that Jonathan David is over at Juve, and I don't even see him staying longer at Juve because of the salary that he accepted and asked. Also, he asked the salary of a starter, not as a second rotational player. To me,
No, but his story with Juve is over. I agree with
yeah.
that.
10 minutes, Fred, and it's in the title, so we have to speak about it. Goalkeepers, pick your goalkeeper. There were a lot of names that were done, and for the people, I have still two names that I need to tell you. I already said one, Lobotka. Still have two names. Uh, we already spoke a lot about El Dibu Martinez. We spoke, I think, as well about Allison. Um, who were the other names that I was speaking about? Wait,
Carnesecchi, Carnesecchi, Vicario,
Carnesecchi, Vicario, Guillaume Rest, Tsolakis, De Gea,
Guillermo.
Guillermo Restos.
Yeah,
Uh, pick your goal as easy as that. Pick your goalkeeper, feasible or not, and maybe if you have some updates, you never know.
I might. Um, pick my goalkeeper. Restes intrigues me because he's still young, but you can see the potential is there.
Yeah, yeah,
I like Okoye as well.
yeah. It's a player that I really like, Okoye, but I have seen some games of him where I was like, ooh,
Yeah, but I think that's because
but
of
I
his
like
youth.
him. Huh?
Also, I think he still has potential to grow. But if I have to choose, and I'm going to be very specific now, Juventus want two goalkeepers.
Yeah,
It's
of course.
not a question anymore of because they're both out. I'd go for the combo Alisson Dafara or in case of emergency, De Gea Dafara.
I would not bring back Dafara immediately because you could potentially slow down his growth a bit. While I think that a season on loan in a Serie A team would be good, even 2 seasons, and then you can really compete for a first spot goalkeeper. That's why I have absolutely no problem in Alisson, Dibu Martinez, even De Gea. I would understand it because there are 34, 35, and then you can bring back a Dafara. I would not be against Dafara being second goalkeeper, but it can only be 1 season. Otherwise, you will burn a player and it will take him away his experience to grow, which would be
I'm
pity.
very
But
sorry. I read something shocking, Beppe.
what did you read?
Gianni in chat says all of these players being discussed are no better than Perin. I respect everybody's opinion, but
Here, Gianni FIFA. Um, but maybe speaking about another Perin with two R's, because the Perin with one R that we have at Juve, I don't agree with Gianni. Perin with two R's maybe is better, but I don't know him personally. No,
he's
I'm
twice
joking,
twice the
Gianni.
size. He's twice the size.
It's
Perin
another
with two
Perin.
R's.
Yeah. No, allora, Perin, guys, there is a reason why he has never been people are laughing in the chat. What can I say, guys? No, because you need to accept everyone's opinion, but sometimes it's difficult because Perin, if you are, how old is he? 34, something like that. If he has never been the first
Yeah.
goalkeeper for any coaches that we had, Allegri, Then I don't know by heart who was there, who was not there, but Thiago Motta, Allegri, for everyone. Not even for Spalletti. Spalletti is putting in because of Di Gregorio blackout. Because
Hmm.
of Di Gregorio blackout, Perin wanted to go to Genoa, guys. He didn't want to go to Manchester United, and here we are not. We are comparing with names of Alisson that was extremely great at Roma and became one of the big ones at Liverpool. At Liverpool, huh? Liverpool that is playing Champions League, that is showing. If you're speaking about Dibu Martinez, we are speaking about a World Cup winner. We like, we don't like. De Gea, it's Manchester United, and I believe a few other small clubs there that he plays at. So no, objectively, these three names, if it's objective, it's not even a debate. They are much better than Perin. We are comparing first goalkeepers that in a way or in another won big and did big and played at the biggest stages versus a second goalkeeper, because that's what we are speaking about. So
Yeah.
I don't agree with Gianni.
No, me neither. Me neither. It was a bit shocking, but
No, but Gianni is, I think, is a bit confusing things. I never heard in my life, I promise you, Juve promising players. That's what people make about it. This is the overload of communication that supporters still have difficulties to digest and to understand. There are 100 names per week. Correct me if I'm wrong, Fred. On the
no, even a
table
thousand.
of every club, not only Juve, not only Juve, 100 names per
Yeah.
week. And then what do you do with these names? You check. Some people you say immediately no. Some people you say, bah, let's scout, let's monitor. Some people you're saying, bah, I scouted, I monitored, and I do another filter, another filter. And maybe from these 100 players, at the end, we are speaking about 405, let's say 500 players per month that are
Yeah.
going through Juve from the youth academy to the big teams. And then you filter, you filter, you filter, and maybe at the end one will come. Maybe one. What is
And
the
then
job of the journalist?
you also have the other, stream of the river where the management or whatever contacts the clubs in order to
Of
see if they're
course.
interested in buying, selling, or loaning a certain player. So you have that in the mix as well. So, but
Yeah, yeah,
the
but that
goalkeeper,
it's common sense. It's day to day work, and
yeah,
journalists, that's their job to intercept some news, to be in contact with agents. You know, like Frey is trying to explain. A lot of agents, what are they doing? They are putting names on papers to give visibility to a
yeah,
certain place. Because if I'm an agent, guys, and I have a mediocre mid player and I want to sell him for a bit more, if I link him, even if it's not true, but if I link him to Juve and I speak with a few journalists, I say, "Oh, Juve, there is some interest from Juve on." I'm just saying, Zirkzee. It's Juve that is interested in Zirkzee, even if it's not true. And then Zirkzee is on the front pages. If you say Fiorentina is interested in Zirkzee, who cares about Fiorentina interested in Zirkzee? Nobody will speak about it. And that's a reality. So
yeah.
it's a game. It's a
I
game.
had a
It,
question yesterday in chat. Somebody there were we asked about, people in chat ask us anything what you want about certain players, and they asked me names, and I think Zirkzee was also one of them. I said I have not heard from my source about anything. Ah, but no, you must be wrong because the Gazzetta says this, Tuttosport says that, Fabrizio Roma. Guys, I can only report what I know. If I want to, have fireworks and confetti every episode, I pick out 1,000 names. Juventus are going for him and him and him, but it's not the truth in the sense that I don't get those informations. So what point is there in me shouting out the name of Zirkzee if I, from my part, have not received any confirmation that anything remotely official is happening? And that, that's day to day business. I'm sure that Fabrizio Romano, Monblano will agree that they get fed a lot of names or read a lot of names, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there is something going on there. And if I'm
What
not
I know
sure, my
about
source.
Zirkzee, what I know about Zirkzee is that uh, Juve even tried in the winter to have some
Mhm,
discussion with Manchester United. Said no, they
yeah,
didn't even want to speak about that possibility. Of course, Juventus wanted him on loan,
low,
so that's also really important.
yeah,
And they said
that was
no,
the issue.
and they said no. But they were close to everyone. They didn't want to let him go. Today in March, because at Manchester United, every week they change opinion, they change management, they change coach, they change idea, vision. But at today, the 19th of March, they are more open to let him go. At today. And of course, after now a few seasons that he's there, the price is decreasing. And why is he a name that could circulate in the offices of Juve? It's because they didn't, and that's why I asked you earlier, because at the moment they didn't decide yet at 100% what kind of second striker they want. Do they want a Lewandowski type of, not Lewandowski, but a type of player that is a bit can play instead of Vlahovic. Let's say it like that. With
Yeah,
the same
yeah,
characteristic,
yeah,
plug and
yeah.
play. You know what Inter did really well in these last years. You take one, you put the other one, they are playing the same way. Okay. Or they're looking for someone that is different. Spalletti said one thing as a starter, I don't want a type of Zirkzee. I don't
Hmm.
want a Jonathan David. I don't want an Openda. I can go with a million names. He doesn't want that player as a starter. So the starter should be a Vlahovic. Okay?
Type of
Then
player. Yeah.
type of player. If you tell me that the type of player is Vlahovic and that's my one, then I can even speak with you about what do we prefer. But at the moment, they didn't decide at 100% yet. That's why I'm
No.
telling you that Zirkzee is a name that is circulating like a lot of names. And I tell you that I don't like Zirkzee. I never liked Zirkzee. Never.
No.
Even when
Me
he was
neither.
doing well at Bologna. And people on the channel, they know it. But I tell you that Zirkzee is a type of player, not a starter, but it's a type of player that I could see work really well under Spalletti in a 4-2-3-1, so under Vlahovic, but also in some games instead of Vlahovic.
Yeah. And I know for a fact that
And I
Spalletti
don't like
also
him. Huh?
said, no, no, no. But Spalletti also required, especially the non-starting striker, to be compatible with the potential starting striker in the sense that he could switch the formation to for certain games to a two-striker formation, especially if you look at what we can do on the flanks, because you have Boga, you can move Yildiz a bit more central during the play. I don't think he'll start with that, but you could evolve the formation. And then if you're down a goal and you need some firepower, it makes sense to put two strikers up front and play with, I don't know, Boga on the left, Yildiz behind the strikers, and a Conceição if he's still there on the right. So I can see, where he's going or where he's coming from, but you need to put that into feasible terms as well, because buying strikers, we can buy a lot, but they cost money, especially the good ones. If you have
Agree.
to pay 40 for Openda, imagine what you'll have to pay for somebody who actually scores. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a bad
No,
analogy,
no,
but
it's
you
true.
know
It's
what I
true.
mean. So you need players that are pretty much flexible in terms of the plug and play that you mentioned, and not just in the striker front, but also in the midfield. Because we're talking about Goretzka and people saying, but it's contradictory because Goretzka, Bernardo Silva, different players. Yes, but that's the point. Spalletti wants wider choice, but also that plug and play. Can we let Locatelli rest? Oh, nice. We put Goretzka there. Should Thuram rest, be injured, suspended, whatever, or he's not good enough? We can put Kessier there. And I think that's the reasoning behind Juventus is that plug and play, that interchange, without losing quality. Because now often we lose a lot of quality when we sub. It's as simple as that. Because Zigrova for he played one good game, but he's not somebody that we bring in and he elevates the level every game. That's what we need. Somebody in those minutes who can come in and break open a game like a Boga. And Boga's not a big name. I mean, if you told me in August we're gonna sign Boga, I said, oh, pfft.
No, no, it's
But
true. It's
now
true.
he's of high importance to Juventus, and he'll soon be a Juventus player. I also explained that yesterday. Saw somebody in the chat as well. Why haven't we signed Boga yet? We have a contract. We cannot sign Boga. The contract expires 31st of yeah 31st of June. Then we decide. Then we can decide. Then we can trigger the option. You cannot trigger it beforehand because there's insurance policies and everything that's set up to play. It's not that easy. It's not like FIFA. You have to have a lot of things that are set in place. You have to also make money available for um, maybe signing bonuses that we do not know of, whatever. So
Wow.
it's not,
I mean,
oh, he did well, let's send him now.
I always say it's disgusting. Maybe yeah, it's a bit egoistic, but you have still 2 months to play. What if, and I hope not, of course, for the guy, for us, but what if he gets a huge big injury,
Yeah.
ACL, Boga, boom, you just sign him. You know what I mean? You made a
But that's what
contract
I
for
said
5 years.
with the insurance as
Down,
well,
right?
because if you're a lone player, you are insured with the team that holds the rights to your name, which is not Juventus at this point. He gets loaned out to Juventus, and Juventus have their own insurance and whatever, and a player potentially might have a private one as well. But if he gets injured at Juventus, um, it's easy. Then the other team has to, call their insurance. They make something work with salary wise and whatever. But if you don't have that in place, then there's an argument there
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he will need a salary. Who's going to pay for it? Not the insurance because you have none. So it's a lot more than just signing a piece of paper and saying he's mine. It's not those days anymore, the 1800s where we had slave labor and you sign a piece of paper and a human being is your property. It's much more specific and decisive than that. Yeah.
The two names, I tell you them, and then we close. Except if you have another topic that we didn't speak about, uh, but one name that Juventus is monitoring, but that's an investment. That costs money, and it's not sure that he will come. But I know that he's really liked, and it's really strange because actually not old, not experienced. But Buadi from Lille is a player liked in La Continassa that could really play in that midfield in two men. They are seeing something in him, and I was speaking today with Carlo Pizzigoni, that is an international scout since years. Really, 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 he knows football. He knows football. He said that. To me, it's even you cannot even sign him for what they will ask in terms of money. But he's a great player. I said, is he ready for a team like you? He said, yeah, he's ready.
Yeah.
So,
We were
Buadi,
following him for 2 years now,
yeah, yeah,
but I don't think it's realistic in terms of the financial weight.
cost a lot. Huh?
Yeah. And I know that they're not eager to set up a specific formula where we can say we take them on loan, then we pay this like we
No,
usually
no,
do
no.
in Italy. They want to see cash upfront straight ahead, not in also not in like we always do in 4 or 5 years, the payment terms or whatever. No. One sum taken is yours, which
Yeah, but
is
uh, the only kind of hope is that you are able to do a mercato that is that smart and also a bit lucky with some big names for free, a la Bernardo Silva, a la this, that you actually don't spend too much cash. And the cash that you We're planning for Tonali ish. That will not come because the cash that you were planning for Tonali doubled in the meanwhile. That you can spend for a player like that could be, and that's why I'm saying pay attention for you. You never know, but that could be a really beautiful name.
I
And the
in
third team,
general. Oh,
go.
sorry.
No, 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 no,
In
go.
general, I know that instead of what we always did, buy players, sell players, buy players, sell players, we could see a mercato where we switch out players in
Yeah,
certain ads. I'm not saying all of them, but I'm thinking if I see the link up with the names and I go back and forth and I say, okay, we're interested in that player, but wasn't that team interested in this player from us? And it starts to make sense because the positions are usually also similar.
anyway,
So
if you tell me Jonathan David, Colomwani,
no. No. I'm telling you,
Jegrova, Greenwood.
I think more David Greenwood for Marseille. For Marseille, David is a somebody that
Yeah,
they want to target.
but you know how much you will have to pay for Greenwood.
I think we'll have to spend another 25 to 30 million on top of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
But I'm
if
just saying, I'm not saying that it's something that will happen. I'm just saying
no, no,
there is
no.
some potential, especially with the players that are relatively cheap for us, but could be of added value to other teams. Why take cash? Because everybody that knows, oh, they got 35 million in for Miretti. So if they come for a player, we ask 45. That's usually what happens. But now if you can deal with players and clubs directly and say, okay, you have Greenwood, we have David, you want David, we want Greenwood, we add 20, 25, would that suffice? Then you have more of a negotiation
But
term and more of leverage, I think.
then it's not only Jonathan David, then it's also one between Jegrova and Conceição that needs to leave to make spot for Greenwood.
Segovia. Sorry.
I don't know. I don't know yet, Fred. Maybe the club already decided. I don't know yet. I would wait a bit. Uh, you're anyway. You are forced to wait because you cannot do anything before. But no, I mean, I would give him his fair chances until the end of the season. Which means if he can, I would play him. I will not rule him out because I can tell you, I heard it somewhere, and I agree with it. And I don't care for season 25, 26. But Spalletti must pay attention to that because Spalletti, from the moment that he doesn't want the player anymore, is really excluding him totally.
Yeah. That's
And it
that's
happened with
typical
Openda.
Spalletti.
It happened with Openda. It happening to Jonathan David. Happens to Cabal. Happens probably also to Adzic and to a lot of players.
Even happened to
Now
Totti.
with Di Gregorio, and then if you go back with Icardi, with Totti, with it's not the first time. Huh? So
No,
if you're doing it in a season like this one, I don't care. We have one
no.
objective. It's a short one. We go for it.
There
Next
there
season,
is
you cannot because at the end, oh, you will finish with 12 players. You cannot just scrap players from your list like that. It's different
no.
than Antonio Conte because Antonio Conte he goes extremely clear with the management in the beginning of the season. I don't want that player, and he will never play for me.
Yeah,
And he doesn't play him. But the other teammates, they are a team. Huh? They are a team. Spalletti is different.
yeah,
That's something he needs to do better to me.
yeah. I totally agree. The thing here that is different is that in this season where Jagrova didn't really shine, um, Juventus already received plenty of phone calls from other clubs to, just to let them know, hey, if you want to sell Jagrova, we're available to sit down. Whereas with Conceição, that hasn't happened yet. So, from a Juventus point of view, if you want to get some extra money in, and you know that your coach maybe says, well, this guy, I'm not sure, I'm not counting on him, and you could get some extra money in, then it makes sense to sell him. But that's what you were saying. Maybe Spalletti is somebody who often is too fast in writing players off and putting him to the side and not giving him extra chances. But maybe that's also what we need. Maybe we need another type of player there that we don't know, don't see, and I don't know. And Bologna scored,
and Bologna scored.
which is good.
Um, no, but it's even good that they went to extra time. So grazie Bologna, grazie Roma. That's good. No, but and anyway, last name so that we can close. The last name, but that's a name that I'm not happy with. I mean, I would have been happy a few years ago, but I'm not happy that much now. The name of Rudiger, free transfer at the end of the season.
Mhm.
Then you're looking for it. If you're because it's really injury prone. On top of that, you have Bremer injury prone. In terms of charisma and everything, I would go immediately for Rudiger. But you also need to have some players that are able that then in football everything can happen. But guys, but I know that Spalletti would love Rudiger back.
Okay. Okay. I have
I
another
re-
name as well.
oh, I repeat, Buadi monitored difficult, but you never know with an extra budget there. Rudiger asked by Spalletti. And then the third one, who did I say? I forgot. Lobotka, asked by
Lobotka.
Spalletti.
Can I add a name?
Yeah, of course. That's why you are here.
Um, we are very interested. I don't know. There hasn't been anything concrete in terms of contact. William Gomez from Porto. I wish I could say more because I don't even know the player, to be honest. I'm not
No.
following football a lot lately. I have no idea. It's just a name that popped up that they told me we're trying to work on it and see what's possible. But apart from that,
William
who?
Porto. No, William Gomez.
Gomez.
William
Yeah.
Gomez. Right wing. Right wing. 20 years old. 171. Brazilian player. Value at value, not price tag. Important. Value transfer market 20 million euro. Played 22 games in Liga de Portugal with 7 goals, 1 assist, 8 games in Europa League, 2 goals. Um, he's a right winger that casually also can play on the left. Inverted winger because he's a left winger, has a contract until 2029, comes from Sao Paulo. Um, that's what I can tell you so far. I don't know because I don't know about the guy.
Me neither. Me neither. I don't know who, what, why, but it sounds like a Komoli name, to be honest. An
Bravo, Neme.
algorithm.
He's the cousin of Conceição. It looks like I described Conceição. Huh?
Almost, especially he's a lot taller than Conceição. He was 171. Conceição was what, 145?
I don't know, but I know that I can tell you one thing. Wait, where is it? Conceição. I went to check once the height of Conceição on transfer market, and it was 170.
No.
I can guarantee you that he's not 170.
No, if he's 170, I'm
It's not.
2 meters. No, no,
It's not.
170. He barely comes over the boards, the boarding at the stadium.
This is for Saraz here. Uh, is not 170. No, because no, because because oh, because I know my height, and I was with Conceição in the same room, and he was shorter than me. So I know that he's not 170. Then I don't know exactly. I didn't ask, but I don't know. On
167.
yeah, yeah, it could be because on transfer market, I think that they are changing a bit the numbers, a bit like that.
Slightly,
William
slightly.
Gomez, you know that tomorrow I will say it to my friend Luca Monblano when we will do the lists of Juventus. Uh, we have updated the list. We have a new list.
Oh,
You
I'm
want
very
to go
curious.
really fast through it?
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
I
I'd
need to
appreciate that.
uh, tomorrow. It's not ranked, so you need to pay attention to that. It's not ranked by the best and the worst. In you have three columns. I show you. You have
Yeah.
column A, column B, and column zero. Zero is
Yeah.
clearly the free transfers. B is it's there in the list to be monitored. There is nothing
Hmm.
concrete yet, but these are the names. Like you know what? Go and watch them because they're interesting, uh, and then you have list A. There are more important names that already were some talks with. Bernardo Silva is that persistent that we even moved him from zero to A, even if he's a free
He's
player.
both. He's both. I think in that respect. But I'm missing Ashari still. I'm missing Ashari.
Yeah, Shari from Milan. I don't
Uh,
think that he was the
no,
crush of Giuntoli.
he's the crush of Spalletti. I'm honest. From what I can tell, Spalletti would sacrifice two of his starting 11 in order to get Yashari in. That's how much he likes Yashari.
Check the other names and give me your thoughts. And also the chat, huh?
Yeah. I hope Zirkzee gets removed from every list.
Who?
Zirkzee.
Ah, yeah.
Personally, I just I don't like him. Ederson, it's cooled down a bit in terms of priority. Ederson, Descartes, Barnabé is still monitored. Hackney, Ordonez, pay attention.
It cost a lot, huh?
Pay atten- He cost a lot, but keep him, keep him in mind because there were 3 games in a row that there were Juventus representatives present to watch Ordonez. And if you go 3 times in a row, then something, I mean, then there is a certain extent of advanced interest. Pellegrino, Paricelli, yeah. Senesi, Celle, Kessie, Icardi. I think you can put Schlager off the list, to be honest.
I think as well.
And I think you can move up with Mingueza a bit. Because for me, from what I know, there were 2 offers from other clubs from Mingueza, or clubs that were very interested, and he turned them down without even hearing or sitting at the table. So to me, that means
And this is what we will speak about next week. Next week we will do a special because we will do a bit longer about the list.
okay, nice. Look forward to it.
Frederick, it was a really beautiful tete-a-tete. GJustjuve, I was happy to
Was.
be together with you. Thank you, Beppe, and especially thank you to all the chat. Jim, Saraz, Salman, Masood, Osama, Palestra, huge, big crush, but really expensive. And we will do a special mercato next week. Grazie a tutti. Like, subscribe if you didn't yet here, also on Turin Giants, don't forget. E ci vediamo la settimana prossima. Ciao a tutti. Ciao.
Ciao.